Welcome into another edition of Nick Patrick's Mailbag. I am your co-host, Casio, and I am here with the world's most hated referee, the NWO heel ref himself, the one and only Mr. Nick Patrick. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm doing great, man. If I was doing any better, I'd have to have a twin to help me out. So I'm doing good. How about yourself, man? You doing okay?
Doing good. Had a big road trip, and glad to be at home. You know, there nothing. You've said it before. I like being on the road. I'm still at that point, but also, boy, when you just get to your own bed and your own couch, and your own shower.
That's a really good feeling. Yeah, when you get to sit back down in your recliner for, you've been gone for ever how long, you get to sit down, you get a whole new appreciation for your bed and your recliner.
Yeah, and let's just say all your bathroom.
Spots. Everything. Yeah, you get back to the routine, man.
Yeah, got everything like you like it. Not, it's one of those, and you've been on many of these where you don't even get to see much. You go to the hotel, you go to your gig. By the time you wind down and get back to the hotel room, you sleep till it's checkout, and then you got to get up, drive to the next city, and.
Yeah, if you do go see something, you're going to either give up either sleep, food, or gym. One of the three. One of those three are going to be. You're going to have to give one up if you're going to go see something.
Yeah, that is it. So, man, we are glad to be here. We're going to talk about. You got a big event coming up this weekend on Deep South Wrestling, October Rust, and we will get to that. If you'd like to interact with us, first of all, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for watching us, wherever you may be, YouTube, our X feed, wherever that is, here with Podcast Eat Wrestling. Put us a message. It can be anything. You can just say, hey, you can drop a question, ask something about wrestling, food, sports, entertainment, whatever music, whatever you want it to be. Nick Patrick is here to answer your questions. So hang out with us, sit back, relax. And we encourage you to message with us. That's why we do the show. It's an interactive show. And if y'all don't interact with us, there's nothing to do.
We
can still talk.
Yeah, we can. We got plenty to talk about, but it's a lot more fun when other folks join in, man.
Also, you can jump in on the chat. We'll get to as many of those as we can before we get out of here today. But if you want to make sure we get to yours and you want to jump to the front of the line, you can go ahead and hit us in those super chat. That is a great, easy, quick way to support the show. And boom, we already got one. So let's make sure this is how it works. You get a super chat, you're in the show instantly. Little Pepsi said,
sir.
Nick, what was it like to be choke slammed by the Giant?
It knocks all the breath out of you, even if you take it right, and even if he lands you flat, which he always did. But you're up there so high, and it's a joke, man. It's like you're actually a little higher up there with that than you are when you're getting power bombed by something like Nash or somebody. So it's a drop. You're used to like taking a slam or something, and it's just that little. It's just a little bit longer of a fall. It's And it, like I said, it knocks the wind out of you, even if you land, you land right. It's a hell of a bump.
How many times do you think you've been choke slammed?
Oh God, I don't know, because I've been choke slammed by a lot of different people. I've been choke slammed by the Giant, by Kane, and there's all kind of people that use the choke slam. Rock did his version of it was a rock bottom, but it was just like a choke slam. Basically, it was similar.
Does the size of the hands affect like you? Does the size of their hands affect you any? Like,
no.
Does bigger hands hurt or help, or does it matter?
No, not really. It's just
because you're just going up.
It's just you just got to go with it and know the person you're doing it with and see what they want from you, how to do it. Because when the Giant does it, you just grab and hold on and go. But when Cam would do it, he would want you to take your hand and put it on his shoulder. So you could be to help brace. And
Yeah.
So, but I took a bunch of them from him, and that's a hell of a bump, So
yeah.
But
Is it? What about the hand on the back? Is that just some guy's preference?
yeah,
Some of them
that's
will,
just to help stabilize
just their
things, and to help
preference.
help give you a little push, so you can boost and you can get good height, you get
Get
better
higher.
you get a lot more elevation doing that than you do just trying to jump. Just trying to
Yeah.
jump, you get to a certain point, and then the guy's got to hoist you the rest of the way. And that's not what we're about. So yeah, the hand on the shoulder of the back helps, so you can get up, get at elevation.
You said Kane and maybe The Rock and many others. Is there
Yeah.
a
Anybody that
worse
was
one?
in WCW or WWE from my NWO time to to the time I retired, if they did a choke slam at some point in time,
You
they
got
gave
it.
it to me, because they hated me. I did the NWO gimmick, so I was a heel with WCW, and then they hated everybody when I went to WWE. If you was from WCW, they hated you. The
You
baby
got.
faces,
You gonna get
everybody,
it?
everybody. So I was perfect. I was the perfect guy to let they had everybody beating me up, man. They had the girls beating me up, and I tell hell, Earl, Hebner, everybody beat my
Everybody.
head. Yeah, hell yeah. But hey, I'm not trying to be Billy Badass. I just want to make money, brother. Yeah, and I get a better pop. I get more out of losing than I do winning. Nobody would believe me when I get my hand raised. And if I get beat, I can lie about it and get heat out of it. Act like I kicked their ass anyway. Yeah, so
shout out to, by the way, who was what's the worst one you ever took? Was there one you just landed wrong, or they pretty
no,
much all the same?
not really. They're all professional. Nobody ever really dumped me and hurt me ever. It's
That's good.
so everybody takes care of you, make sure that they land you flat. I never had anybody just take me a boom and just toss me. I was fortunate, I guess, but no, and thank God too, because when you're up there that high, and if you do land crooked, you could get hurt pretty bad, because it's knocking the wind out of you landing right, landing the right way. So imagine if you wasn't landing right, what it would do to you. Yeah.
Woo! Now, I want to give a shout out to one of our Twitter friends on this day in WWE. Has a great a great follow. He's a great follow if you want to check him out. And does he basically does that on this day 20 years ago or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And he sent me a link to it, and it is Mid-South Wrestling, and it was 40 years ago. Now it's 40 years ago in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But it is a link from Mid-South Wrestling, and it is JR. He's the ring announcer. He's the announcer, ring announcer.
I saw that on Facebook. Somebody sent that to me.
Did you see it with you and Ted
back when I was
DiBiase?
wrestling. Yeah, me and DiBiase. I wrestled a lot of names when I was there. It was awesome, man. I've seen me and Dick Slater. I had Rick Steiner's first TV match with him there, and
Wow.
it was an awesome place to work and learn, man. And I was that underneath babyface, and I got to work with all the top guys, man. It was a great place to work, man. A great place to learn. You traveled your ass off, and you worked every night. I was there for 6 months, and I had 2 nights off in 6 months. So
that was surprising. You were only there for 6 months, but
yeah, well, I blew my knee out and I had to go home.
That was 6 months into that Mid-South run.
Mm-hmm.
And you had how many did you say? 2 nights off?
Yeah, 2 nights off in 6 months. One of them was my birthday. It happened to fall right on my birthday, man. And I was like, damn. And
they didn't even plan it, did they?
Yeah, and when I was there, I lived in Pineville, Louisiana. It's like a little town. It's like a suburb of Alexandria, but it puts you right in the middle, because Watts ran 5 states. You worked Louisiana, okay. You worked Mississippi, you worked Arkansas, you worked Oklahoma, and you worked part of Texas. There's some Texas towns that we ran too. So, and he wasn't talent friendly. He didn't send you on a loop, man. You were crisscrossing, bam, bam, man. You busted your ass out there, and you put in miles. But man, you learned, and you worked every night, and you worked with top guys, top caliber. That was a top territory. And people that when Vince stole people, he stole a shitload of them from there. And he was building at the beginning when he went and took all the top guys from the different territories. But yeah, that was an awesome place to work, man. I got to work with the travel, and I learned a lot right there. And I wish I could have got more time there, but like I said, 6 months in, I blew my knee out, and I was wrestling. I was working with a kid named Sean O'Reilly, and I was supposed to hit him with a roll up, and he was one of my roommates. And so I was coming off the ropes, and he goes to scoop slam me, and I'm gonna drop in behind him. And when he scoop slammed me, when I dropped behind him, my ankle rolled, and I was coming down all my weight. When my ankle rolled, my knee just buckled right behind him, man. And I jumped up to my feet on my one good leg. I knew it was gone, man, because I was going into shock already. I said, "Oh," and he locked up with me. He's like, "Oh shit, are you hurt?" And I said, "Brother," I said, "small package me," but I said, "But get this other leg because this one is gone." And he freaked out because I was supposed to go over it. I said, "Brother, I'm going home and you're going to be here for a while." I said, "Roll me up now and just get the F out of here." Oh, man, I was hurting. And he did a little roll up, but he hooked my other leg and left my bad leg. Now, that's the mentality that we had. I had a completely blown out leg that was so bad that it took me 2 years to get where I could get back in the ring and do stuff again. And I jumped up to my one leg and said, "Small package for me." Instead of just saying, "F it, man, I'm gone."
Tell me about working with Ted.
Oh, he was awesome,
DiBiase.
man. He was awesome. He was just
Just
so
a great
smooth.
heel.
Yeah, oh God, yes. And you didn't have to do nothing but just listen and follow and have a little fire. And and as a babyface back then, the top heels they want you to keep coming. They'll cut you off when they want to cut you off. So it was fun, man, and an awesome learning place to learn. And Ted was one of the best, man. One of the best.
I mean, I'm watching you. You just gave him 3 body slams in a row, man.
Hey, man, I was bad hooky back there.
Hey, yeah, you got 3 body slams. Oh, he gave you the face stomp.
Yeah,
That looks
that was a
like it's
good one.
pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it didn't hurt. He consummate professional, man. Everything. You know what
nice.
hurt me? What got me more than anything in that entire match was at the very beginning that tackle. I hit that tackle so hard that I hit back that it almost pulled my 2 hamstrings because my legs come up, and I was like, "Oh, holy shit!" Because we wanted to hit Snug, and that was his deal, and Snug is okay, especially when it's coming, that's business. And man, that tackle, we hit,
Ooh,
man. We hit. That was like being on a football field. That tackle was.
dang.
But the rest was, man. It was perfect, man. He was excellent.
Is that Dr. Death out on the outside, I
Yeah,
think?
Dr. Death on the outside. I'm not sure. I don't even remember what happened. I think Bob Sweetan might have got involved at some point in time. That's because there was different people that was,
Who was that ref?
I believe that was King Carl Fergie.
King Carl Fergie. All right. Adam Krasnov said he used to live down there. He used to live in Ville Platte for a year. He
Yeah,
said, "How were
okay.
those Cajun crowds back then?"
I loved it, man. They were fun. I love the food down there. Damn,
Come on
you
now.
just get addicted to that food that's down there. It's like, and you can try it in other places, and you'll find a place here and there that's pretty good. But man, there's good foods everywhere down there, man. I loved working there, and like I said, I learned so much. The culture was so cool, but the business itself and like I had 2 nights off, man. That's going, and I was there for 6 months. So I remember when I blew my knee out, I called home because my wife was pregnant with our first child, and she was big pregnant at this point in time. So I was just about to have to come home anyway. But I said, "I got good news and I got bad news." And she goes, "Well, give me the good news first." I said, "Well, the good news is that I'm coming home and I'm closing out all my accounts and my stuff here, and I'll be back tomorrow at some point in time with my vehicle." But I had to drive, man. My knee was completely blown out, and I used like the hot water bottle, and I kept filling it with ice, and I just rolled, man. I had to roll from Alexandria, Louisiana, to College Park, Georgia, and it took me, I think, 16 hours, maybe less than that. I don't really remember, but my knee was blown, and it hurt so bad. And my damn car had a clutch in it too. I had a little Dodge Charger back in the day, And it was the small, it wasn't one of the hot rods. It was back when they were smaller, and it was a little 5-speed. And I had that damn clutch, man, and it was my right leg that was blown out. So I got my leg in position because I couldn't, man, there wasn't no moving it, but I could still move my toe. I was using that big toe on the gas pedal and put my leg in position. And, oh, that ride home was such a bitch, man. My buddies helped me load my car and got everything loaded. And I was like, bam. I rolled up several and I'd go until my knee was just like boom, boom, boom. And I'd hit one and I'd keep rolling, man. Yeah, I made it home. And yeah, I told her the good news is I'll be home. Bad news is that my leg is blown. I don't know how bad. And so I come home and I went to, I was one of the first people that went to that doctor at Houston clinic. And it was the doctor in Alabama that does all
Dr. Andrews.
Dr. Andrews. He was part of the doctor's staff and it was the head doctor when I went there, but he was the one that worked on me. I had another doctor named Norwood. And it was in Columbus, Georgia, where I went. And it was called the Houston clinic. And they did my first knee surgery, and they told me, they said, man, they said, you're done. Athletics is done. He said, you'll be happy that you can walk and you'll be able to jog a little bit, but you got no boom,
Can't go side to side.
Yeah, you got nothing lateral. It's all gone, and just be happy. Play. You're alive and you're playing with your kids. So I'm okay.
Do you think now with their technology, do you think they could have did anything, or do you think they
would have done
it was that bad?
They would have done it completely different, and it wouldn't have taken me as long because I had ACL on my other leg. But the problem was I blew everything out. I blew every cartilage was torn, everything. He said it looked like a bomb went off in my knee, in my right one. My left one, it was just an ACL tear, and it was a replacement of it. But it was 1985. It was 2 weeks before Christmas when I blew it, and they did it completely different. I had a big cut down the outside of my leg and a small cut on the inside, and they put me in a cast I forgot, it was like 4 months, I think, with my leg bent, and it's like that bent.
Oh.
And so when they took that cast off, my leg is frozen like that bent.
Yeah.
It took forever to get it to straighten out. Like I said, it was 2 years before I could actually was comfortable getting back in the ring. Man, I did all kinds of shit with a bum leg, man. I loaded trucks and everything. I had to. I had the kids, and I was a young man, and my wife worked too, and I did what I could do, and that's when Pop and I opened up Deep South, and once I started getting a little bit better, and I knew from my physical therapy what to do to try to get it to lock back out, but it was just so hard to do. I just had to run backwards and do a lot of treadmill time and a lot of stuff, and and mostly running and trying to sprint backwards with it as much as possible. And that would, every now and then you'd get that, and you'd go, oh God, you think you re-hurt it again, and you start squirming, and you realize, oh, okay. That's just scar tissue.
I'm alive. Yeah.
Yeah. You're sweating and stuff. Like,
yeah.
Oh God.
I gotta do it again.
Yeah.
I was looking at that video with you and Ted. It looked like you've got black knee pads on, but it looked like on one of your knees you already had it wrapped.
Yeah,
is that the same knee, or is that a different one?
Same knee. I had an injury. I injured it in a skiing accident when I was wrestling in Pensacola. Because I was wrestling in Pensacola right before I went there, okay. And I was out there with the Armstrong brothers, and I was on this little body boogie board thing, and it had a crack in it. I didn't know, and it started filling up with water, and it nosedived, and it took me right into the sand, man. Bam! Drove my legs into it. I hypered my knee real bad, and I went home for I think I had 15 or 16 days because it happened right as I was just about to finish up there, and I was going to Louisiana. I was like, oh man, what timing. But I did everything I could to try to get it right, and it held on good for 6 months for me. But it was there was times that when you're working every night, it didn't really have a lot of chance to heal.
Yeah,
so
no recovery time.
Yeah. So anyway,
we talk about it all the time about how a lot of these wrestlers nowadays, they're over 40, 50, and that's a testament to the doctors. It's a testament to their training. And like you said, we've talked about it before. They're not doing that schedule anymore. I mean, if you're on, they're not doing house shows anymore. They're on one night a week for most of them, and some of them, they got so much talent now. There's some of them don't even get on every week. So, you get a lot of time to recoup when you need it, and that's got to be great.
And still get paid.
Yeah.
So it's
well, there's that too. That's a pretty good thing.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't back in the day.
Yeah.
So
if you were not on it, you didn't have anything
on the back.
To get.
Hey, kid, I like your work, man. Let me know when you're better. Okay, I will. See you later. Thanks.
Incredible. Let's jump back in the mailbag. Creeper said maybe it's only me, but I love Ref Nick Patrick. Well,
thanks, man. You're one of the few. We love you too, man.
Let's see. Matthew Rodriguez said, "Hey Nick," said, "I want to do a fun one. How about since we got Halloween coming up, your top 5 Halloween candies?"
Okay. I have to go with ones that I give out personally because I know that we don't ever have Halloween trick-or-treaters anymore. And so I end up eating them all myself. I love the little Butterfingers. They're awesome.
All right.
And
Butterfingers.
Yeah, I love the little Nestle's Crunches.
Okay.
Little Nestle Crunches are good. I also like and Nick is big on Kit Kats.
Okay. All right.
Kit Kat gets thrown in there. I always liked I liked Milky Ways too. I thought Milky Ways were good.
Milky Ways, okay.
Yeah. And I hadn't had one of them in a long time. Now that I think about that, I'm gonna have to grab one next time. I go, man, I ain't had one of them in a long ass time. You got my mind thinking about
just in case you got trick or treaters next week.
And my last one that I'm gonna put on there for number 5 will be Payday. Paydays are good, man. I like them.
Okay, so this is a shocker because you didn't have some of the biggies. I've seen the top selling ones. You had no Reese cups.
No, I like them, but they're not in my top list.
Okay. No. You had no M&Ms or peanut M&Ms.
Love them. I do love them. And so
okay.
And that they just slipped my mind. And I like the different flavors they got. I like them little M&Ms that's got the caramel in them. They're bad.
Peanut butter ones are good.
Yeah, peanut butter good too.
And then also usually in the top 5 most selling is the little the Snickers, little miniature Snickers bars.
Yeah,
they
Snickers
get a lot of
run. Good. I went Milky Way instead of Snickers because those two are just kind of they're always next to each other. It seems like on the shelf.
I like I'm gonna get Reese cups in mine. I'm gonna get a Kit Kat for sure.
Yeah, Kit Kat's got to be in there.
I think I'm with you on the Butterfingers. Got to be in there. Those are always solid. I actually like the smaller ones better than the bigger ones because
me too.
They get stuck in your teeth and everything.
Yeah.
I just want to battle one, get that flavor out of there.
Yeah.
So I might go. It's just Halloween. I don't buy them much, but I'm kind of a sucker for the Whoppers too.
Oh yeah, Whoppers are awesome. Yeah.
Whoppers are a pretty good one.
Yeah, those are real good too.
I might go one of the M&Ms. I mean, I technically like Reese's Pieces better, but not a lot of people hand those out on Halloween. It'll be one of the other small candy bars. Y'all drop yours below. What's your top 5 Halloween candies? What are we missing?
Excuse me.
Between me and Nick, I feel like we've mentioned all of them, but certainly we've missed.
Yeah, we covered a broad spectrum right there.
We did. Man. Don't give us any apples or anything.
No, you can't trust stuff like that. You guys have stuff that's packaged, wrapped, sealed.
I look back on it now. We toilet papered this lady's yard because she gave out toothbrushes in our neighborhood.
Oh my goodness.
We were like, we got to remedy this real fast.
She deserved it.
She did deserve it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Speaking of, what we got over here? Let's see. Speaking of Halloween, Mike Berry Sr. What's up, Mike?
Hey,
he
man.
Says, Nick, where do you stand on the tan level of the Stinger for Halloween Havoc 97?
I'd have to see it again, man. What did he? Did he come? He must have come back off the road with the. Did they use the fake tan or was it the real deal?
I think he's been not tan enough for.
Oh, did it? Oh, that's when he did. That's when they said he didn't have a tan when he come back. Okay, yeah.
I think that was the year he was not tan enough. Yeah.
And he wore a bodysuit. What's up with that?
And then
and face paint, bodysuit and face paint. What did they? His hands weren't the proper color or what, man? That didn't make a lot of sense to me. But I guess his arms showed a little bit, but that was everything.
That chest. He had that. Remember, he had the big chest sticking out. Yeah. He had that low cut deal there. Mike's always getting the tan level in there. Let's see what we got. Creeper, since you did say you were one of the only ones that like Nick, you do get your question read. I'll give you that. I said, what was your most favorite match to ref out of your career, Nick?
It's hard to say. I can't just say one because there were different eras of my career. Some of the stuff that I did early, because I was fortunate to be able to do some big matches early in my career, like at 20 years old. I wrestled a title match with Harley Race and Dusty Rhodes. I did another one of him and Flair, but Harley and Dusty was shooting an angle for Japan, and it was being filmed. It was a title match, and I was 20 years old, and that was my match, man. For that era, that was and there's different guys that I've enjoyed working with, but that we were, there's matches that you enjoy doing when you work for years that you do at a house show or something, that sometimes it was so smooth and so fun, but it didn't get any the magnitude because it wasn't on a pay-per-view or something, But there's several different guys that I've worked with. Working with Eddie Guerrero, always fun. Working with JBL, always fun. Working with the Undertaker, always fun. It's hard to just pick one match, and like I said, it was from different eras. I've refereed Steamboat Flair matches before. Those are incredible. The Steamboat Flair match. There's been, they've worked a million times, but there's one match in particular that people try to say that this was the best of all time. And they say the same about Steamboat and Macho Man with their WrestleMania match. But they worked a million times, and I happen to be fortunate enough to do several of them. And it's hard to pick one over the others because there was just different time. There was old school time and transition time. I used to love to do tag matches. Hard to get a bigger pop than when doing the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express. I mean, those were just bam. I mean, that's tag team excellence right there. And it's hard to say.
Incredible crowd reaction, great work in the ring. Yeah.
Yes, and as times changed, the Road Warriors showing up and making the impact that they made on the industry. They didn't have technical skills. They were just big, mow them down badasses, but they were monster killer with this incredible look, and they was feeding people to them, and they learned. They had to learn, in order to work top matches with top guys, because you can't just run through everybody. You have to learn to work along the way. They did, but those are incredible moments, incredible time. It's hard to say that one is bigger or better or more important than the other, because they all helped change the progression of the industry and the direction of the way of where it was going, and working with JBL. He can work with anybody, man. Some of the matches that I worked with him and Undertaker and him and Cena and him and Eddie, JBL. I have to say he's one of the best big guys that I've ever worked with. And I don't think he gets enough credit for that. He was especially Cena, when they was getting him primed to be in the position that they wanted him to be in, they joined him with JBL. He was married to JBL for a while, and that's because they knew that he would get the psychology of the inside and outside, of the ring. And so I went on rambling and never gave you a straight answer, but I
Well,
gave you some
you can't pick your
examples of,
favorite kid. That's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've given you, some examples of different times, different eras. But I used to love to do tag team matches, and working with Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express was just a blast always. Me and Cornette had great timing and interaction, and had our own little Shakespeare shit that we did that always got a pop, and it was fun, man. It was, and it worked. It was a
It's a
good
good
time.
problem to have when you can't pick. You got too many favorites. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah. There's no way to pick one, because the eras are different.
Let's see what we got. Adam Krasnov said, I'm guessing Hogan and Flair Bash at the Beach 94. Was that the best payday for you?
No, we got paid the same. We were under contract,
So that's what I was going to
I
ask.
didn't
A lot
just because I was the ref of a certain match, I didn't get a cut. My cut, their cut was their cut. I didn't get a piece of that. I got paid. I was under a contract. I got paid. And it was per gate. So my pay would have been better. But it's hard to say which one would have been best. Because like I said, I was under contract, so my checks were fairly consistent. I didn't never have. Yeah, I didn't really have one. That's when I realized, and I'm not trying to belittle WrestleMania in any way, because I would never do that, because it is what everyone aspires to be, but and to do, and be a part of, but it takes longer to get your money. And as a ref, and then you're a contract guy, and those top guys are in those slots, or in those storylines. Yeah, they're pulling in the coin, but the rest of us are under contract, and we may get a little bit more, but it won't be a whole lot more. And it takes you way longer to get it, because they have to wait for all the numbers to come in and all that. It's like overseas checks, when you do an overseas tour, and wow, that was hot. Every town that we was in, it was just people lined up, like turning folks away. And you got a big check coming, but them overseas checks take a long time to come, because I guess they have to sit. I don't know the legal specifics of what they do, because I know they have to have overseas accounts, and to transfer the money, and taxes, and interest. It took so long sometimes that I was convinced they was keeping that money in there just so they could draw some damn interest before they paid
some
us.
interest.
Yeah, man, we got this account. Let's get some interest out of it before we pay them. Hell, they're under contract.
Let's see. Ibsen Arroyo said, did you ever take any advice from Harley Race? He was there with you when you managed Vader.
Yeah, Harley was a great guy. Yeah, he was a lot of fun to work with. He always would give you good advice, but he was a ribber too. Harley, he was so. Oh yes, and there was time he would try to crack you from outside the ring when he was working with Vader. He was working. It was Vader and Davey Boy, and I don't remember where it was, but they did a false finish close to the ropes. And I had to slide in there and get my old ass in there in between the ropes to make the count. And I slid in there to count. When I did, I went 1, 2. And when I went up, Harley goosed me in the ass with his thumb. Boom. And he hit me. I would not have made that 3 count. I jumped to my feet. I went, blah! I jumped straight to my damn feet. And Harley went, oh! He started laughing, and he had to cover his face and walk away from me. And I was like, God damn. He didn't realize it. And I didn't realize I was that goosey. But I damn sure wasn't expecting that, man. I hit 2, and I went up there, and all of a sudden, bam, and he hit me hard. But that's how I about leaped out of the damn ring, man. I was like, if that would have been the finish, I would not have made the count. It would have screwed up everything, man. If I walked too close to him,
got you.
He could. Now Harley could legitimately break pliers. He could squeeze them and break them. He'd wrap a cloth around them and squeeze them and break them. And he had that, like Hodge. There was a couple of guys that could do that, and he's one of them. And if I had to circle over by him, and if I stood by him too long, he'd reach in and he'd grab my damn leg, and he'd dig them 4 fingers into the front of my shins and start pliers squeezing my damn leg, man. And I try so hard not to sell it, but there comes a point where you don't have any choice. You're going to start saying, I just go, "Dow!" He's got to let you go, man. But he's get a hold of you, man. And it was like, oh my God, and you're not going to pull your leg away. He's got you. And man, yeah, he squeezed the crap out of you. It's like, I tried to no sell it. It was impossible.
There's a buddy of mine, shout out Jeff Jewett, who got to meet Harley, at an event.
Yeah.
And he said that's one of the only thing he remembers is his handshake, because he just put it out there and he had those mitts and just had that big hand squeeze. And he's like, "Woo, this is a man's handshake right here, big hands." And like you said, just strong as an ox.
Yeah. Good people, man.
Do you remember we were talking about your last match as a wrestler, and I know you did last match with Deep South. You came back and refed one more. Well, do you remember your last match with WWE?
No, not really. I don't. I know I was hurt. I don't know. I don't know.
You were hurt when your contract ran out?
Yeah.
So you're off the road?
I had back surgery. That's why I tried to come back, and this is weird. I had back surgery. I was out for 6-8 months, I think, maybe longer. And I was ready to come back, and they booked me. And I was coming back to Las Vegas. It was a pay-per-view in Vegas where they had that cage match with all the different chambers, where they let people out one at a time in the different chambers. Chamber
of Horrors.
Yeah, some kind of chamber gimmick match. So they wanted everybody there early, right? The day early, so they could talk and rehearse and blah, blah, whatever. So I was okay. So they sent me there early. So I got my travel stuff. I get in my car. I'm on my way for my first day back after back surgery. I pull up to the stoplight. I'm sitting on on 1941 big 4-lane highway that goes straight, boom, boom, takes me to the airport. I'm sitting there and all of a sudden, boom, bam! Oh, this kid rear-ended me, man. And it was I swear to God, it was like a light switch clicked on, and I felt because my foot had been numb and like asleep, and I worked all this time to get the feeling back and to get because my lower extremities from my back, because I had a sciatic nerve problem. I had to have a discectomy. I had a spur form. What happened? And that spur broke loose. And when it broke loose, it was sticking into my sciatic nerve, and it cut up the inside of that disc, and it almost crippled me, man. And they ended up having to clean it all up and stuff. And anyway, I don't know what got me all off on that.
We're talking about your last match. So you got the back surgery. You don't remember?
Yeah. So
it wasn't like an official thing you remember.
No, I really don't. I did so many of them there, and it wasn't like I couldn't tell you.
You didn't know it was going to be your last, so you
I had no clue. Yeah, I had no clue. Because I remember I'd come home off the road, and my back had been hurting a little bit, and I've been having the trainer, do heat and stuff on my back for a while, and I had actually had 2 different, we had a team doctor there, right? And I've had epidurals done the proper way. I don't know if you've ever had to have an epidural done, where you have to go in and they lay you on the surgical table, and they got this light that comes down, and boom. Well, I had 2 epidurals in WWE in the locker room with me in a metal chair, turned around with me, turned around backwards, me sitting backwards in the chair and leaning forward like that, and the doctor hitting me with epidurals in the locker room, and went and worked matches, And when I had the epidurals done from later, they say, don't do anything strenuous the rest of the day. And I tried to one time. It made me sick. I was getting the friggin' epidurals and going into the ring. I did it twice.
Going to the ring?
Going and worked matches. Wow. I didn't have to take a bump, but I went out and rest. Straight out of an epidural. Did it twice.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I was hurting like hell there toward the end. And I really don't remember. And it wasn't because of pills. It was because I just had so much shit on my mind. I was hurting like hell. I didn't know how much longer I was going to be able to go. I've talked about my family before. I was still going through getting answers about autism and all these different things with one of my sons, and I just it was I had a lot of shit on me at that time, man. It was a tough time. So as far as I was just kind of going in cruise control with work. I get my deal, boom, boom, boom. And I really couldn't tell you there because toward the end I was hurting pretty bad.
Let's see what we got. I was trying to see if I could find it. When do you think the wreck was? 2008.
Yeah,
Says you were released.
I had my surgery in 2006, and so it would have been, and I think it was toward the end of the year, so it would have been in 2007. I think I had the wreck. I think.
Okay, it said you
and
got your release.
One of the last matches would have been that chamber match because
elimination chamber.
Yeah, because I did that match.
It said
and I went to
August 8th, 2008 was when they released you. That was after 7 months out with the back injury.
Right.
They said February 8th, 2008, you refed a tag match with SmackDown. Yeah, I forgot about these names. The Dalton Boys, Jesse and Festus, and Deuce and Domino.
Okay, yeah, I remember Deuce and Domino.
Jesse and Festus was, of course, the Gallows. He's Gallows.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They were Jesse and Festus for a little bit. I forgot all about them. We'll have to. Somebody said they looked it up and they thought that was it too. Jesse and Festus versus Deuce and Domino, a tag match.
Woo. Yeah, that's more than likely it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Now that you say that, I can remember.
And then
I can remember that. I couldn't tell you what we did, but I can remember that. I can remember that time now.
Didn't you do something a couple years later with Gallows and his Rampage or something like that?
Did
you go to Rampage?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you went Rampage. Rampage Championship, I believe I thought I saw.
Oh, down in Warner Robins? Yeah, I did go down there, but Gallows wasn't down there when I went down.
Okay.
Micah Taylor was there, but Gallows wasn't there.
All right, let's see what we got. I'll do a couple more before we get out of here.
Because I did work Rampage. Now that you say that, I forgot all about. Yeah, that's the guy that was down in Warner Robins.
Yeah. I think that was 2010. I believe I saw it was.
Yeah, I worked with him for probably about a year, maybe probably not that long.
Let's see what we got here. Let's get this in since we're you know what we'll get one more and then we'll talk about what you got coming up here at Deep South. This is a good one. We got wrestling coming up. So Pirates wrestling coming up. Halloween coming up.
We got that too.
Yeah, we do. Pirates Wrestling said, Nick, what is the most disgusting movie you've ever seen? Mine was called Substance in 2024 and the 2009 film The Human Centipede. I've seen The Human Centipede. It is definitely a disgusting movie. I've not seen Substance. Any gory, crazy movies stand out to you, Nick?
No, I'm not into those really too much. It's I never did get into the gore fest and stuff. I guess the most gory that I would have thought would have been like the old school, the old Texas Chainsaw thing. The guy cutting off the finger and sticking a gimmick in his mouth that was a little off the chain. I just remember I didn't just gore fest didn't really do it for me. Some because they go so far, some of the shit goes so off like that movie with that what is it? The Latino guy Trejo or something where he gutted some guy. Yeah, where he gutted some guy and grabs his intestines and jumps out the window that's like repelling by this guy's intestines. I'm like,
is that Machete? I think.
I think so, man. I couldn't even watch the whole movie. I saw that and I was like, okay. And it was, it looked gory. It looked kind of cool, but
I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple of those the Japanese horror movies. Boy, they get wild. And the Ichi the Killer was one back in the day. And there's a crazy one called The Audition. And it's got some of the most, I mean, she, in the audition, I think this girl takes off this dude's ankle with a piano wire, wraps it around it, and then pulls it and just severs it right there. At the,
I can't.
One of those where you're like, ooh, that just looks painful.
Yeah, I can't do that kind of stuff, man. I'm not into that.
It's Jason from Friday the 13th. Is he a baby face or a heel?
Well, it's all perspective. You know, if you cheer for heels, then he would be a babyface to you. You know,
yeah.
And I've cheered for heels all my life. You know, and I wanted Jason to kill some folks, so I guess that he would be a babyface to me.
Okay, yeah. So Michael Berry, you were right, brother.
Yes.
He's calling it. He was a face. All right, Nick, you've got a big show coming up, as we talked about. That's this weekend, actually.
Yeah, October Rust, man. It's going to be hot.
October Rust. We've got a couple of the matches to talk about. Big card. We've got coming up Sunday, the 26th. That's at New Realm Brewing in Atlanta. And the tag team title is going to be on the line.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a hot match. These kids are on fire right now. Our champions, and Stunt Marshall, one half of our tag team champion. He's the slap champion. We had him as a special guest a couple weeks back. Yeah, well, they've successfully defended their title at every show so far. So, and this is going to be a matchup, man. It's with Hunter James and August Artois. They can go, and they're a good team. And they faced them already once before, and it was a contest, you know. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm going to be able to make this show. There's been a lot of them that I haven't been able to go to. And but this is one of our big ones, and I'm very fortunate that my son has this week off, so he's going to keep an eye on Nanny and Big Nick for me, and I'm going to be able to make this show. So y'all come down and check it out, because October Rust is going to be hot, man. We got some big matches lined up, and I don't know if you've come to any of our shows down there, but man, these outdoor shows down on the Beltline are a blast, man. The food, the drink, the atmosphere, the action, it's a great time. We got a lucha death match here. Cosmo Martinez taking on Luca Daniels.
Ooh.
That's gonna be one hell of a match.
Lucha death match.
Yeah, and both these guys can go, man. We don't use people at Deep South unless they are doing what they are, have aspirations of trying to break through to the next level, and are putting in the work to try and do so. So when you see a Deep South show, you're seeing kids that can go. You know, I say that every time I see the kids pop up, but that's why they're at Deep South, because they can go. This ladies match, no escape match, it's going to be awesome. These two ladies, when they get together, they've had to be pulled apart by the crew before. You know, so this is going to be a great matchup. No escape. It's who is
that? That's Gemma Jules. She's the champ.
Yeah. Yes. And Audrey Allen.
Audrey Allen going to be a throwdown.
Yeah.
Oh, Audrey's got look at those arms.
Yeah. She's a strong little lady. She can go. Yeah. Gemma's gonna have her hands full. She's a champion, and she's been doing the title proud. You know, she's done a great job as champion so far. She's gonna have her hands full. I'm telling you that right now.
That's going to be New Realm Brewing in Atlanta, and it is a free show for everybody.
That's correct. The food and the drink is not free, but the action and the wrestling is. You know, come down. The atmosphere is unbelievable. It's going to be a beautiful night too, man.
Oh, Michael said Aubrey could kick my ass. Yeah, I guarantee she can.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, I guarantee she
join
can.
The club.
I've never met her and never seen her yet, but I want to, and I'm pretty sure she can kick my ass. That is no debate there, buddy. So that's going to be this weekend, Sunday. It'll be a big show, and so next week when we meet back here on Halloween week, we will we'll have an update. And you said, I think you said you've got an announcement you're going to make at that show this weekend. So maybe some
I'll
big
let you know
stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I'll let y'all know what it is, and hopefully I'll try to get some footage too. I'll try to see what I can get my partners Eric and Marty. I'll see what we can't get put together, and let y'all see what we're doing, man. Instead of just us talking about it, because I'm trying to introduce you to some of our characters. We've had three or four so far, and you're going to end up meeting some more. Especially right before one of our big shows. And we've had a lot of stuff going on. And one of the guests that I was going to try to get, I couldn't get for this one because our kids are busy. They're booked. They don't just work for us. Because I want them to get booked by every single person that they can. I'm not trying to put somebody on, don't work for them, but you can't work for me. That's bullshit. The more work you get, the better you are. And it brings more eyes to you. The people that watched you over there, they know you're coming here, then they're going to watch you over here with me, So go out there and work for everybody. That's my motto.
Big show this weekend. We'll have an update on it. I'm just encouraging you, Nick, if you want to get a pop.
Yeah.
Next week is Halloween week. If you show up here in a costume, I think everybody would appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm dressed up as a grumpy old man right now.
All right. We will be back here again. We'll be back here again. Should be next week, same time, same back channel right here live on Podcast Heat Wrestling. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Started a little late, had some technical difficulties, so we appreciate y'all bearing with us. Appreciate y'all bearing with us. We missed last week. I was on the road. We tried to pull it off. Just could not do it. Somebody said you should dress up as me. And then somebody said we should dress up as the ding dongs.
I'm personal friends with the ding dongs. I might could scrub us up some ding dong gear, man.
I think all I can do is take my headphones off. I look like the ding dongs there. I think I got that covered, but we'll see what we can do. Y'all show up, y'all dress up, send us some pictures, and we'll sling that up. We'll be back here again next week. Everybody, if you're in the Atlanta area, check out the free show Deep South at New Realm Brewing, the Rust show, October Rust. Big matches, titles on the line. We'll have an update with that next week. Nick, man, hope all the family is well. Good to talk to you. This flew by today. Thank you, everybody, for hitting us up in the chat. Thank you also to our little Pepsi for hitting us with that super chat. That's greatly appreciated. That's an easy, quick way that you can support the show. That is greatly appreciated as well. For Mr. Nick Patrick, the heel ref himself, I am the one and only Casio Kid. We are Nick Patrick's Mailbag every single week right here at Podcast Heat Wrestling.